Welcome to A Tribe Called Jess. Sorry about that little mic trouble. We're here in the Salisbury studios, coming to you from the Wylde Style Network. And please watch us live and call in. We would love it. I have two special guests today. This is Frankie Diaz. Wave, Frankie. And I have my son Nico here who showed up last minute. So I'm a little afraid. I never know what's going to come out of your mouth, Frankie. And Nico, God, Nico, poor thing.
But you do know what goes in my mouth.
Oh, God. Yes, we do. And we're going to get to that. We are going to get to that, everyone, because I know that's something you definitely want to hear about. How are you, Nico?
I'm doing all right. I'm just vibing, coming out here for you. Support.
For me. Aw,
I love you.
Aw.
Mother's Day's tomorrow. So.
Oh, God. You must want something or want to get paid. Nico and I are going to go to lunch tomorrow at about 12 o'clock at Mariachi's, which I'll pay for, of course.
Thank goodness. I'm broke.
That's okay. You'll pay me back one day. Frankie, what's going on?
Oh, I'm happy to be here.
You're happy to be here. Are you nervous?
A little bit.
Move the mic closer to you.
Are you sure? It's so big.
A little bit nervous?
A little bit.
You, of all people?
Yeah.
We have seen the craziest photos of you on social media over the years. And again, we'll get to that. And you're nervous? Are your kids going to be with their mom tomorrow for Mother's Day?
I hope so.
You hope so?
Yeah.
Do you get the gifts or?
No, I completely stay away.
You can.
They go with
Is
their
she
mom.
like, no?
No, they just go with their mom, and I don't want to interrupt their time.
Yeah. I get it. So I asked on social media, I wanted to make sure we touched on this because I asked on social media this week about, of course it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. I'm a mom. It is the most rewarding, but also the most stressful job in the world. Sometimes frustrating. I kick it real. But at the end of the day, there is nothing I love more than this thing over here. But I did ask, you can say anything. All right. Be careful what I wish for, right?
Yeah.
I put out on social media a video this week of dads that, fully play the role as mom, right? Because I think a lot of times that's who we forget about. We often talk about, single moms, a lot. And we don't often talk about single dads and I think give them the appreciation that they deserve. Do you agree?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah.
100%, yeah.
I think men, I get accused a lot of sometimes like, oh, you side with men or you're too masculine. And it's not that. You guys know I'm for women, but not to the point of forgetting about men. I think men, don't get to express themselves as much and don't get recognized as much for the great things they do that are, very much women's roles sometimes.
Well, as guys, we always just do what we have to do.
Yeah.
We talk about it. We just do.
But do you feel like you want to be appreciated for it?
Me personally, when I see my daughters, just happy.
Yeah.
And that's enough for me.
Yeah.
And I'm used to, my dad was never one of those that'd be like, way to go, son. Every time I did something, I'd be like, hey, Dad, I took care of this. What do you think? You want to go check it out, see if I did well? He's like, well, it better be done well.
Yeah.
and
I hear that a lot too. Like, they're like, well, it's what you should be doing.
Yeah.
I know one of my exes, which I was like, I actually agree with you with Nico, would be like, he'd be like, oh, I got, an A, and he'd reward him for it by all means. Be like, and you should. Like, you shouldn't get patted on the back for doing the best job. But I do think we neglect to say thank you to men sometimes, the great men in the world. And the feedback I got, I have two guy friends personally that play the full role of mother. And women by nature, I think, are the multitaskers of the world. Like, that's kind of our thing. We're really good at it. So I think for a man to take that on is just I have so much respect, and I watch them do it and sacrifice dating, life, and everything without even a complaint ever. And it's just, I think I shared, you and I talked about the stories, and one of them, my friend's wife had died. And he's played the role, basically his son's whole life as mom. Did you read that story?
I did.
What'd you think?
It's tough when you read about something, someone losing a spouse.
Yeah.
And then I I can relate a little bit in terms of being a single dad,
Yeah.
But it's hard to relate when something like that happens, but it was heartfelt. It was.
The cool thing about that guy, I'll tell you, the same year I was reading the timeline he had up there, and the same year that he lost his wife, I met him at fitness. That's how we became friends, through fitness. And he was such a supportive person in our fitness group. I would have never known. And that just is a testament to how he handled that. And I have so much respect for him. And his email conveyed to me, like, there was no amount of sacrifice he wasn't willing to give. And then I had a friend, another guy friend, not the same situation, obviously, thank God. But he said in one of the lines, he's like, I remember laying on the bathroom floor crying. And I remember thinking, I know that feeling. And as a female, I think, we're more easy to say our emotions and cry and stuff. And I'm imagining him as a male laying there like, I can't do anymore. And somehow we all manage as parents to keep going.
Yeah, believe it or not, us guys do cry. Yeah.
I know.
And it happens.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Nico?
I don't think there is wrong.
Anything wrong with it?
No.
No? Do you cry?
Yeah, I cry all the time. Sometimes.
You do?
Not
I love
like
it.
all the time, but I'm pretty sensitive. So
Yeah. I want to come back to that because Frankie and I had a really big discussion on that this week. So we'll come back to that whole sensitivity round robin. But yeah, I just want to give a huge shout out to the dads because the dads that play the mom role and all the moms. I've been a mother to this one. This one has such a great story, and I love being your mom. It is the best thing in the world. I mean, I'm so incredibly proud of you, and more so because of the good heart that you have and the character of a man you are. Of course, I'm proud of you at school. Like, I want you to have the best go at life going into it. But all right, so enough of that. Happy Mother's Day to all the mom and dads and the dog moms. I wanted to make sure we got that in there because I thought it's important to me to share. And let's get into what Nico really thinks of me as a mom.
Oh, goodness.
Come on.
All right, well, like, I gotta say, we got close, very close, past few years.
Yeah.
100%. Like,
We had some tough years.
yeah, I would agree with that. Like, I don't know, we had our arguments with baseball and some other things, but otherwise, you're a good mom. You've been there, you push me, yeah.
I had some tough years. I mean, I think you and I were you were mommified until you were about 6.5 because you didn't come to this country until you were 3.5.
Yeah.
Which is another credible testament. And that's a story for another day, but we can speak to that. And you became dadified and I was the worst human ever. But what I love about Nico is, even now, as we become friends, but I'm always mom. He'll tell you I'm tough. People think I'm lenient. I'm lenient in certain ways. And I'm like...
For school, bro, oh my goodness. She gets on my head.
I'm on this boy's ass.
I'm like, all right.
As you should.
Bomb me up, 14 texts a day. Get your stuff done. I'm like, oh, mama. Sometimes I just ignore it. I'm like, all right, I get it. I'm getting it done and whatever, but
He does, though. I used to write, his teachers would call me. He was like a half year mark student where he'd always do really well. But they call me each year and I go through this. And finally I walked in there. Do you remember this? And I'm like, my son does good in March every year and he ends with a bang. Don't call me again. And he goes just like, oh my God.
Dude, I honestly don't remember that, but...
Oh, I light people up. He's seen it.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
I chased a lady down the road one time because she said something mean to my son.
I thought you were talking about the one when we got the haircut that one time.
That was it.
That was it?
90 miles an hour down the road, you crying. Mom, don't.
Oh, yeah. When I was like, Jesus, Mom, please don't.
She said a very naughty thing I won't repeat on the air to my son. And I was like, get in the car, Nico. And I chased her.
Yeah, she was trying to follow her around the gateway, Virginia. Oh, my God. I was like, Mom, please just stop. She heated, very heated.
She deserved it, though.
Oh, probably.
Fair.
And
then another thing, Nico calms me, though. I will say, as we become friends, he really he knows I get lit up, and when I'm pretty good about not doing that anymore. But when I do, it's all in. Like I am.
So when do you come down? When he starts crying?
No. But he
he
can rationalize with me. He's like not like, Mom, calm down. He's not like all rude and stuff. He's just like, he'll go, Mom, or Jessica.
I call her by her first name a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't mean it by like a bad thing, but I just like sometimes when she just doesn't hear mom, I'm like, Jessica, Jessica, to get her attention or something. But yeah.
Yeah, but we've definitely, only rule I have with Nico is like, be smart about being stupid, right? Yeah. I mean, have your fun, do your thing. I want you to experience life. You know, I'm here when your pain comes. I mean, because our kids' pain, I think, is meant for them. It's how they grow. And I'm here for it. But if you really
is that the mom in you when you tell me to like have fun but be careful also?
Yes,
every time we go have party, it's like, okay, Frankie, do what you want, but just be careful.
And Frankie always does. We were just before we came on it. Real quick, before we go to that, Nick, episode 1, you heard, I was terrified to share it with you. I left the studio after episode 1 and like, oh my God, my kid's gonna hate me. I've just embarrassed my son. But I was like, you know what? I can't. I live my life for you to an extent. I'll die for you. And you came back with, oh my God, it was about your friends.
Oh.
Remember?
Yeah.
And Kevin and Jeff were pressing me about your friends. And if they hit on me, I'm not even going to say what they actually said. Go back and listen to episode 1.
I remember.
And you said, you texted me, and I'm just sitting there sweating like, oh God, he's hating me. He's never speaking to me again. And he goes, this is laughing my effing ass off. This is awesome. And when they said it never stops, it's so true.
Oh my God, I'm still here today.
Okay,
bruh.
so when your friends talked about, because see, I remember one time you told me when you were in middle school, you're like, Mom, they always talk about your butt. So I remember that. And I remember the time we went to Arlington and met Frankie. So when have your friends harassed you about me? Your whole life?
Dude, yes. Ever since like middle school, like everybody's like maturing up a little bit or like going through puberty or whatever. And like I still hear current.
What do they say to you, Nick?
They just
you can be honest. This open
they
forum.
They say some sexual things. I'm like,
oh my God,
don't want to hear that, guys. Like,
what do you say though?
Like
what's
that?
Your response?
I just tell them to shut the fuck up. I'm like, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, go away. Or I come back and be like, yeah, I think your mom's hot.
Yeah, I think that's the
yeah.
best way. That's the best way.
Yeah, or talks. You know,
smack.
Yeah, a little smack back and forth.
You don't get mad though.
Oh, I don't get mad. No, I think it's funny.
I think I've always been like, you see me when I go to work, I'm conservative, blah, blah, but otherwise, I mean, I'm half tops, bikinis, half shirts. There's nothing conservative about me in settings where it's just hot and, you know, out my day to day.
Most of my friends love seeing your TikToks. I gotta say that. I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Oh, God, I didn't even know.
Look.
They're not bad. I don't do any, you know me, I've never been like that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
I mean, I'll definitely do like if I have a Halloween outfit on or something, but I've never been wanting to take like boob shots.
Yeah. Every party was like, is Nico's mom coming?
Oh, well, it was funny at his New Year's party. So we're at New Year's and I said, I'll go out the night before and I'll host a New Year's party for him. So I'm sitting, you know, monitoring the children and they're awesome. They're no problem at all. Right. They listen. So shout out kids. They've never given me trouble. I don't think ever.
I wonder why.
Well, no, I mean, like when he's throwing parties, like no trouble at all.
Of course, they always want to come back. Like, no fucking look for us.
But this kid comes up to me, and I mean, don't take me wrong. I do think in general I look young for 48. I don't think I look that age, but I definitely don't look like I'm in college. And he goes, "Where do you go?" And I'm like, "Excuse me?" And he goes, "Where do you go? Like to college?" And I'm like, I'm Nico's mom. He goes, what? So that was pretty, I forget what kid it was. He was super nice.
Yeah, I remember that. I was hearing it, like, I think you told me. I was like, what? And then they were like, I thought you brought a stripper to the fucking to New Year's party. I was like,
I was dressed nice. I remember.
I know. Well, I mean, you were in all leather or something.
I had to go out with Mom to dinner, and I had on like gray jeans and I think just a leather top.
He said leather. That's all he said. Leather.
That's all I remember.
Whatever. It is what it is.
It's been a while.
His friends know I'm exactly who I am, and I will bail them out, and they've always been good kids. Good
Any of
kids
your
in my
friends
house.
that you punch?
None
How
of
many
them.
did you have to beat up?
None yet. None yet.
Do you have a girlfriend right now?
Oh, heck no, bro.
No?
Nah.
How long's it been since you had a girlfriend?
Since last summer.
Last summer?
Yeah.
Oh, the last girl you dated?
Uh-huh.
No names. Why no girlfriend?
I mean, I'm just playing around right now, to be honest.
So, I don't want to know that.
I mean, you're focusing on your studies and bettering yourself.
Yeah, that's what I meant too.
Okay, that's what I thought you meant.
Your studies, yeah. I'm not
studies.
stupid, Nico. They asked me on here, I think it was last episode, Frankie. They're like, when did Nico lose his virginity? I'm like, I do know. I won't say.
That's right.
And they're like, how do you know? And I said, because I had to have the talk. His dad calls, Jess, you got to talk to Nico. I did have the talk with you.
When? There's no shot.
I'm not gonna
Can I
say
say it?
when.
Can I say it?
No, don't sell yourself out
right.
for your future job. I got to protect you on some levels.
All right.
So what do you think, funny-wise, is the craziest thing I've ever done as a mom? Funny, let's not devour all my secrets. You can come back and you can just trash me. It's Mother's Day.
We're going to have to come back on that one.
All right, we'll come back.
right.
So a couple things. Frankie, let's go back to this. So
I plead the fifth.
before we came on here, we were having a little conversation about a Sunday fun day that you, me, Nico, a few other of our friends went down to. You want to talk about it? And I just want to clarify. So my son and I go. It was my birthday. I was leaving for London, set this up. So Nico's like, I'll go out with you for your birthday and spend all your money and have fun. No, I'm kidding. I don't mind at all when it's time. And so we met. There was like 6 of us, right? Or something.
Like
I don't
that.
want to say any names. And we go down and we had a blast. So then I'm like, Nico and I need to get home. He had to meet a friend for dinner. And it went really downhill for you.
Quickly.
Tell us what happened, Frankie. Don't hold back.
Okay,
Act
so-
like we're on the phone together and you just tell what you told me.
So first of all, I was excited to come see you because we hadn't been out in a while.
Yeah.
All right, so I was like, all right, cool. And then, of course, Nico joined, a couple other friends.
Yeah.
And, we did a shot here, a shot there. And next thing you know, we're feeling pretty good. You had to leave, so I should have left. I should have gone home. Should have been like, nice seeing you. But we wound up going to that
Donahue.
Yes, that
Donahue,
place in
yeah.
Georgetown. It's a nice little
It
spot.
is. It's a great spot. Donahue. There's a lot going on in DC. Real quick, a plug. Vera opened. Vera DC, owned by Nafe. That opened. That looks incredible. I think it's Lebanese Mexican cuisine. I believe.
Rooftop Summers.
And then rooftop. Well, that doesn't. But that has a party on Friday and Saturday nights, and it looks
nice.
amazing. But the food itself. So big shout out. He's amazing. What he does for music. And Morrow Rooftop, I'm going to check out in Noma next weekend. So big shout out to Morrow Rooftop. I've heard such great things about it. So go ahead.
All right, so we wound up taking an Uber down there. I'm feeling really good. When I get good, I get generous.
You get
so
very
I'm like,
generous.
shots for you, like buying girls drinks. Next thing you know, I'm like, ask the guy, hey, what's my tab at? Oh, God. $1,000 tab on a Sunday.
I mean,
And then on top,
did anybody put out for that?
No.
No.
Well, the craziest thing is that I feel this tap on my shoulder, right?
Yeah.
And this guy with a, I don't know, Eastern European accent is like, sir, it's time for you to go. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm having a good time. He's like, no, you have to go now.
Oh,
I
why?
was like, why? He's like, it's time for you to go. And I was like, well, my jacket's still in there. He's like, we'll get it for you. I was like,
Oh, damn. What did you do?
I don't know. I mean, I was just buying drinks for people.
That's how I feel when I go out and black out. I'm like, don't blame her. She didn't know what she was doing. I don't know about her.
I mean, I know I was pretty drunk. Like,
Whatever.
I would have been like just maybe bumping into people.
Yeah.
I did try to buy some drinks for these beautiful women that were there, and I guess her boyfriend was there. He was like, "Dude, leave them alone. They're with me. Like, go buy other girls drinks." So I was like, "All right, no big deal. Like,
People get it's so funny to me because I think our age, we're so past that out in DC. Like, I try to be nice to chicks. I try, drunk or sober. I mean, once in a while I get bitchy drunk, which is why I don't drink very often anymore. But, I see people get so upset. I'm like, God, life is once. Yeah. Like, chill out, have fun, listen to the music, turn up, go talk to some women, go talk to some men.
Especially if you're at a bar drinking.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what annoys me. People you bump into by accident, and they're like, well, you're at a bar and it's packed. What do you expect?
100%. 100%. Or, I've seen people get mad. Like, I remember one day, one of my guy friends literally was just walking through the crowd and, hit somebody's butt. And this girl's like, you grabbed my ass. I'm like, oh, no, girl. I'll turn around and be like, that ain't what happened. No. So, I'm like, let's just all have a good time. But I think we've gotten to that age. I think also in our music culture, you and I have known each other about, 10 years?
Almost, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's 10 years this year. Yeah.
Yep.
I thought it was longer, but it feels
That's what she said.
It feels like that is what she said. Size matters. Anyway, no, I'm kidding.
Oh, the wallet.
The
size of the wallet matters, right?
Nah. God, I did life wrong. It never has mattered to me. I wish it had mattered. The size of the wallet, Nico. Not that.
What are we talking about?
My bad.
I've never been about money. Well, I mean, don't take me wrong. I don't want a loser that has no goals. But I've never gone after people for money, and I'm like, I did this wrong, but I'll never be like that.
That's what makes you special. That's what makes you good.
Yeah. You think way more of me than I think of me.
It should be. If you think too much of yourself, then you got an ego problem.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole another discussion for another time. So anyway, so Frankie leaves this, and then what happened?
Oh, God. So I call an Uber. Instead of calling Uber to go home, I decided to go to the strip club. Never go to the strip club blacked out drunk.
And so we were at $1,000.
God.
Let me have some Monster. We were at $1,000 when you left Donahue.
Yeah.
Was that just at Donahue?
No, I had the tabs that we had in Arlington. So I'm probably about $1,500 in right now.
You spent $500 in Arlington?
Yeah, we hit 3 different spots.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah. The prices now are
I didn't drink that day, so damn. All right, so go ahead. You end up at the strip club.
Yeah, so I walk in there. I'm telling you what I remember because obviously I was blacked out.
Yeah.
So I remember one of the dancers just grabbing me.
Where?
By my
By what?
By my hand.
By my which hand? Poor Nico. Don't go to strip. No, I personally don't mind strip clubs, or I've never ever been with a guy that like you who likes to go. Like, one was like, I'm never giving my money to anybody just to see that. I have you.
No, I go because
Which was single. A huge compliment.
See, I wouldn't go if I'm
You wouldn't?
No.
Would you go with your partner?
No.
If my partner asked me to go, I'll go.
I wouldn't go.
They don't bother me. I end up getting more attention from the strippers than they do.
No, if I'm in a relationship, I don't go.
That would be lit to go with your spouse or a partner.
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be funny.
Yeah. I've been with your dad and I used to go when we're younger. That's too much. Anyway, too much for me. You probably don't care, Nick. But no,
I go because I'm
Why
single.
do you think it'd be lit?
I wouldn't go if I'm in a relationship.
I don't know. I think it would be funny.
More funny, or you just think it's like connection?
I feel like it's more of a loose connection that you guys can get,
Oh boy, you're in for a wild ride. Your 20s are crazy. Don't tell me any of this.
It's fun until she doesn't like it.
That's true. That's true.
It's fun until she says so.
Well, Nico, we're going to go back to that. Nico, so one thing when he was growing up, I always said, please date girls that are involved in something. And whether that be sports or the music thing or whatever kids all do. I'm not being rude. I was a baseball mom to this amazing kid. But I remember you going, why, Mom, why? And I said, because they'll never understand her schedule. They'll never understand, because he was playing both high school, right? Mm-hmm. And travel, baseball, lefty pitcher. And I was like, and they will have their values will align with you. Discipline. You got to be disciplined to do good in school, keep your grades up, practice on 2 teams, go out there and kill it. And I remember I think you dated one that wasn't into activities.
More like school smart, I would say. Like that took
You did.
over time.
You had one
But
that was school smart.
Most of them were all school smart.
You had a
but-
couple that played the sport.
Yeah, most of them played all the sports.
Yeah, they all had.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, I was very big on that because I was like, going back to your point about they might get mad. You know, yeah, I think with men and women, it's to date someone who, you know, is independent, loves themselves, which is hard because we're all looking for that. Instead of looking and asking big questions, which I talk about on the show a lot, like let's ask the right questions. We're going off that honeymoon feeling, the oxytocin after sex, and that means I love you. And really, I think we find out years later, okay, this was probably never going to work, right? It doesn't mean them bad people, but.
No, it's not about if they're good or bad, but the one key thing is you have to love yourself.
We talked big time about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, and I'm being single for so long now, it's like I learned that because to me, it was automatically easy to love somebody else, care for somebody else.
Yeah.
But I never realized how difficult it was to actually take care of myself, to put myself first.
And I don't think we realize what loving ourselves really means.
Not until you finally do it and you're by yourself, you know.
And I literally, you and I talk privately. I've talked on the show. I mean, I'm an open book. Don't take me wrong. There are things I keep private, guys. So future suitors, it's not like I'm going to tell our sex life on the air.
Correct.
That's not what I mean. But we talk a lot about this. It was only until this year that I really understood what that meant. And because... And that came with heartbreak, and that doesn't make the other person bad. I think we look at heartbreak and go, that person broke my heart. That's not what that means. It's just heartbreak to a life, a situation that now you're different. And if you really pay attention to that, you start digging into these other parts of yourself.
Yeah.
And I really came to the realization, and I talked about this on one of the shows, that I didn't know how to receive love. I'm really good at giving love, but I don't know how to receive love. And then I was able to kind of dig even in the last month and go, why is that? Because I never thought I was worthy of it. Mm-hmm. And when you really realize that, and I don't know how to tell people what the difference is, it's loving yourself isn't like I'm going to the spa. That's taking care of yourself or whatever that is. It's really realizing you're worthy, and that real authentic love comes with saying, I love you, but I love me too, with my boundaries and this and that, and not being afraid to rock the apple cart to stand true to what you need and yourself.
Correct. I mean, loving yourself is like you said, it's not being selfish. It's about like knowing yourself, what gets you upset, your boundaries, and, being able to tell somebody, no.
Yeah.
Respect yourself. It involves all that. Respecting yourself, taking care of yourself, not just physically, but also mentally, emotionally, and most of us, like I said, it's easy to just focus ourselves on somebody else.
Yeah.
But when we have to look in the mirror, it's not easy to look in the mirror, and see who we are as a person, like what our value is, also what our flaws are. Sometimes it's easy to look at our flaws, but it's not easy to look at ourselves and see like, okay, what's so great about me? What great qualities do I have? And accept it and grow them, and use them on yourself first.
Yeah.
And then share it with somebody else.
100%. And I think we really, when I did it, I faced a lot of hard truths about myself. And I'm okay with my flaws, and I am working on them. I don't know if they'll ever be perfect, right? I don't think we're ever these people that are like, I'm ready, I'm perfect now. But I definitely feel like I recognize my own worth. I recognize that it's okay to look at your partner and say, I'm not okay with XYZ, or it just doesn't work for me, and not be afraid they're going to leave, because I think my shit all comes from abandonment issues. Like, I'm like, I trust. Like, I don't really get jealous. I get, you don't disrespect me, bitch, type. I don't get jealous. And when I am jealous, there's good reason. And I don't think jealousy is always bad. It's proof that we love a little bit. Because when I'm not jealous at all, I do not care about you.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay to be jealous. It's one thing to be jealous, another thing is to be possessive, and controlling. It's completely two different things. But, and I mean, with friends, that's why when I meet some of your friends, I get to enjoy their company too, because you're not one of those people who are jealous.
No,
I've there are people who are also like very jealous
like
about their friends.
I think I've talked to Nico about this, like, how you move around friends and let friends be friends with other friends. You have to. One thing I've never had a problem with, like, is being confident in my friendships.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they're perfect. That doesn't mean there's friendships that haven't ended. But I look at that with those people with love and light and always wish them well. It just, you outgrow people or things change. But I've never had a problem with, oh, XYZ is one of my best friends. Here's so-and-so. And then they go out. It doesn't bother me at all. Never has.
I'm like that too.
Yeah.
It bothers me when people are possessive.
Yeah,
you know,
I just think
I think it's red flags. You know, it's like it shows something.
I've had girls that say, I'm wearing, oh my God, you wore the same shirt as me. How rude. I'm like, who cares? Who cares? What do you think about all this, Nico? Because like me, you're adopted. I think it comes with a bit of abandonment issues automatically. We've kind of talked about this. But in terms of like, at your age, in your 20s, what is loving yourself mean to you from a college age perspective? I'm curious. I think parents are curious.
Honestly, like I would say just like what you were saying, Frankie, like self-respect, especially knowing your values and like I don't really know.
Like when you feel insecure, are you able to say, recognize that and then work on it and move forward from it? Or are you...
Yes and no. It depends on like situations, I
like
guess.
What? Tell us. I
don't know how, like it has to be in the moment.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you're both of you, but speaking of my son, when my son was 5 and went to kindergarten, oh God, I cried. Or first grade, because you went to private kindergarten, first grade. I've told him ever since, you're amazing, be amazing to the world. Every time he left the house, I still say it to him. It's something, and it's funny because his stepmother called me or texted me one time, and she goes, your son writes the most beautiful cards. You wrote her a card for her birthday or something.
Yeah.
And I always did that for him. So it's funny how that comes full circle. Nico goes to the gym like me. Your kids are watching, right?
Yep, of course.
But I think you've developed into a highly awesome person, a highly sensitive person, and also masculine. And Frankie and I had this conversation this week, and then we're going to get to what you put in your mouth. We've spent.
I like this topic.
But we talked about this week, Frankie, and I think this is good for, Nico to hear at his age, because I think we don't have adults that talk openly enough in front of kids about anything sometimes. But we talked about on the phone, we were having a conversation. I was like, this would be a good show topic of, said something about being sensitive, and we voice clip all day, you and I.
Yeah.
And I was like, being sensitive is a gift, right? When I look at men, and let's say a male that I want or would pursue, which we know I don't pursue shit by all the shows, I just keep my mouth shut. Someday some guy's gonna shut up, stop, because you know who my crush is. You better not say a word. But I like masculine. I want someone and masculine doesn't mean rude or anything like that, just that male dominance, not arrogance. There's a difference. But equally, being sensitive with that masculinity is such a gift. I was told my whole life, you're too sensitive, you're too sensitive. And then it dawned on me that I feel things at a totally different level. And I feel music. I feel empathy and compassion on such a deep level. I'm like, it's a gift, and that's what I told you.
Yeah, and I told you what my brother says, right?
Yeah, your brother's off camera in studio here. And my response to him when he told me, what did he say?
He goes, I think I have a sister and not a brother. That's how sensitive I am.
But I said, that's brother camaraderie. That's totally what somebody would respond, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, look, you put any movie you're supposed to cry in, that's me. And then my 15-year-old, she's the same way.
Same way.
We'll be watching a movie and I'm crying and I look at her and then she looks at me and then we're just like, oh. And then my brother's just dying. My brother or my oldest daughter, they're just laughing. I
was listening to more of a melodic techno set this morning and started bawling. I'm like, okay, my hormones are out of control. But I feel you. But I think important message to convey to men, women do think it's sexy when you're sensitive. I mean, carried on with that masculinity, and it is a balance. It is. Like, I'll eat someone alive who's I did not, you know it.
Of course.
I will eat that. You've seen me.
I feel safe when I'm around Jessica.
Why?
Yeah, because she won't let people bully me. Because sometimes I'm too nice, or like just too carefree. Yeah. And she'll keep an eye out. Yeah, she'll make sure nobody takes advantage of me.
One of my girlfriends, we talked about the dating apps, and I forgot to go back to this. Scott, jump in here anytime. We missed you, friend. Yeah. You're missing like some cool. We're about to go what Frankie likes to put in his mouth after this.
Oh, wow. He did the mic earlier.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Right before. Frankie was like, no, look at this. No. He has a hand behind his head. Oh, that'll be great on YouTube. If anybody can't see him, he just put his hand behind his head and like, oh, God.
I'll tell you a joke when we get a chance. When I used to work construction, why I do that.
All right, we'll get to that. But she had told me, she had said when she met her husband, she had known him, but they hadn't been in touch for years. She had turned on her Tinder that day, right? He happened to be driving from like somewhere he was traveling to at the same time, and they matched, and now they're getting married.
Wow.
Like they've been dating 5 years. What a story. Okay. That is like destiny, right, Scott?
Yeah, that's like Cinderella.
Yeah. Like, then I'm like, so there's a new one, Scott. There's a new one, exclusive for high-end people like us. So one of my family members, like, if you decide to get on a dating app, the Rye is such a long wait because that's what the celebs are on, but it's called The League. Have you heard of it?
No.
I'll send it to you. I'm making a decision by the end of the month if I should get on a dating app. I've set myself a timeline.
You said never.
I mean, I'm going to be a spinster. I'm going to end up living with my son and have like 5 Yorkies.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not big on those dating apps either.
But anyway, funny story about you saying that. She goes, I love you, Jess. I just love the Tribe Called Jess and that you're doing this. And she goes, and the fact that you punched one of my ex-boyfriends for me right in the face. And I go, oh, I did? And she's like, and then I thought back, and he came after her. It was our early 20s, guys. 20, 22. Okay, I'm a Philly girl. I lived in Hawaii at that point, England, but I'm still a Philly girl. And he came after her physically, and little asked me, and he was a big boy. I just went, bam. And then
is that Italian blood?
It is the Italian blood. That's not something I would do now. I would get to the cops because he probably could have beat me up and some guys went on him. But when you say that is probably the number one thing my friends say to me.
Yeah, of course.
I protect them.
Look, you're sweet, you're fun, but you're also protective. And that's why every time we hung out, your birthdays, the house parties, I was like safe, like what are terms people use nowadays? Safe zone.
Safe zone.
Yeah. Safe zone?
Yeah.
Safe sex. Safe zone. Nico, I am protective. Yeah, I'm good 100%. Though. I've gotten better about, I don't honestly could give 2 shits about protecting myself anymore. It really is my friends. I am highly protective. I'm trying to be better. And I also have to tell some of my friends, don't tell me that shit. If you don't want me to light up somebody, don't tell me, because that's exactly what's going to happen, especially if I drink at all.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But if you mess with my son, I don't care if I'm sober as a judge or drunk as a skunk. I'll draw blood for my son.
We were just talking about that with the haircut thing.
With what haircut? Yeah.
The car chase, bro.
Yeah.
Falling around.
She said something. Okay. In all fairness, hold on. I do want to clarify because I don't want to come off as this violent person. My son had little legs. He was a kid. We're walking across the street. If anybody knows Atlas Walkway, a lot of people know Rockwood's over there now. The restaurant, back then there wasn't, but he goes to the barber over there. Walking across, and she leaned out because he wasn't going fast enough. First of all, she almost hit my son.
Ooh.
And then she yells out a racial slur.
Oh.
Well, I'm like 5 feet behind. I was like, get your ass in the car. And I did go, she went 90 as well because she knew I was coming for her. I'm like, no. You don't. I mean, he was, what, 7?
Nah, probably.
You were pretty young. Yeah. But I was like, you don't mess with my kid.
Ooh.
And that was funny. Happy Mother's Day to me.
I know. The mom and the furious.
Yeah.
I mean, literally. You wouldn't do it for your kids? At some level, with a racial slur, I was, no.
Yeah, I'm not like that.
Shut up.
No,
now you're making me feel like terrible.
No, I'm not saying it's bad, but me personally, I hate violence, right?
I hate it too.
Or being aggressive.
Fair.
So, I mean, I will get upset, but then I also be like, okay, I'm sorry that this person thinks that way.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna let their small-mindedness influence me.
I think I'm better about it.
Yeah.
Like,
no, but see, it's different. We talked about this too. How moms are just completely different than dads.
yeah, I think that's
You know,
a
mamas are super protective of the little cubs.
Yeah. I don't know. But Nico and I have fun. Like, we were at a school thing and these people cut. Remember, we were waiting to get your school scheduled and these people cut in front of us. And I was like, I don't think so.
When?
Oh God, it was middle school and we were waiting in line and I was like, I don't think so. And then she goes, oh my God, your son looks so much like you. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you. I found him on the internet. And her face.
That's how it was with the freaking cleaning ladies. Dude, what's that one place in Haymarket?
Oh, the cleaners.
The cleaners. Yeah.
We used to drop.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
it wasn't that. She thought I was your sister. For years, she thought that lady was like, that's not your sister. And I'm like, no, I'm his mom.
Oh, yeah. That's what
Yeah,
it was.
she thought I was your sister. All right, so I wish somebody would call in and harass Frankie, 855-77-WYLDE. I would really appreciate the phone calls, but Scott's not here to transfer him. Now he ditched.
Call now because he can't answer.
We have the owner's birthday tonight, if you can hear in the background. So shout out a big happy birthday to Jeff. He's one of the owners of the Salisbury Center. He owns Salisbury Studios, fueled by Monster. Jeff and I go back to 97. He's such a great friend and supporter of my goals. And Kix will be here tonight. So if you want to come have a good time, I haven't seen Kix since I think 99. We're going to celebrate his birthday, and Frankie will be here. His brother Dee will be here.
Nice.
I'm allowed to say her name anytime. So I wish Nico would come, but you're off to your grandma's birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, Frankie. So for years and years and years, we have seen you go out of town. I know this. So my son, for about, I don't know, since 2017, and you were littler, so there was a picture from I think it was my 42nd birthday. And it was on the side of my fridge, away from the public to not traumatize them. But I think if you came to our house for any of our parties over the 7 years that my ex and I were together, you were traumatized anyway. We had great parties, basement bangers. And
Yeah, it was
they
fun
were
parties.
great music. We had so much fun. So, but anyway, there was a picture from this birthday with Frankie. I know the girl, we cannot say her name, but if she's listening, she's dying. And she's just a friend. And her foot is in your mouth. Remember this, Nick? And Nico's like, why does Uncle Frankie have a foot in his mouth? And I don't think about it that the picture's up there. And as he's getting older, he's like, what is this, Mom?
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that because I totally forgot about, like, you know, your son like seeing that like on the fridge until you mentioned it. Because I remember when you guys put it up, you printed it and you were like,
Oh yeah,
Frankie, we got
the
your
look
picture.
in your eyes was demonic. Like this is the best thing ever that's about to happen to me. So we all know whoever's on social media with Frankie, more Facebook, I think, over the years.
Well, I posted it on Facebook for a day, and my friends were like, "Don't do it. Take it down. Take it down."
No, but your friends have completely sold you out in their stories, and
I know, which is weird. Like they told me to take it down, and then they just
and
posted it
on
everywhere.
everything. And we see you in Vegas and Miami, and anybody listening who knows our group knows exactly what friends I'm talking about. And totally, Frankie sucking on toes poolside. Tell us about it, Frankie. Come on.
Well, let's talk about the picture.
Okay.
That was a amazing party.
We went and saw Stanton Warriors at U Street Music Hall, U-Haul, and it's closed now, and it makes me very upset.
Oh, that was a great party.
I loved going to U-Haul.
Hey, but that picture, you know what I called it? I call it the Mexican creeper.
That is an appropriate name.
It was like right between two seats in the party bus.
Yeah.
And all you see is the foot, and you see my face like between the seats, just sucking.
Sucking on those
And
toes.
and I had like a mustache, but you know, I think in that picture it's a little bit more of a mustache too. So,
And this was, I think this was after I made puke. Frankie, we're coming out of the club. He goes, he's like, Jess, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. I'm like, it's my birthday, puke and rally. And I walked over with you. I think I might have stuck my finger down your throat.
So I was hammered, and I was like, I don't feel good. Jessica pulls me to the side of the street, like between the cars, and she's like, it's my birthday, bitch, you better rally. And dude made me throw up.
I made him throw up.
And then I felt good. After that, I was like, all right, let's go.
Let's go. Hey, listen, I washed my hands and we went on with the night. You got to help your friends. Look, nothing better than if you're out there, make your friends throw up. They'll be just fine. Give them some water.
Do you know what's funny is that I didn't know I had a foot fetish until I
a foot fetish.
Wait, you actually have a foot fetish?
Yes.
I do.
There are videos of him, and I, as a mom, and one of his sister-like friends, literally, I'm like, he's going to get foot mouth disease. Oh my God, it's happening. What's going on? When
I went to Miami, one of my buddies, okay, so of course I'm in Miami, everybody's hot. We ordered a bottle of tequila.
Everybody's hot.
Yeah.
So, we're doing shots. I look over poolside, it's this hot girl, like beautiful feet. She had a boyfriend too. And I asked the dude, the gentleman that I am, I said, hey, your girl has some pretty feet. You mind if I kiss them? And the guy was like, go ahead.
That was his girlfriend?
Yeah.
See, that to me is like a cool deal. Like, go ahead. Like, who cares? That's amazing. Oh, so how did you know you had a foot fetish? Because I think, like, I understand a lot of fetishes, and I have actually not a ton of friends with foot fetishes, but enough where I'm like, okay. But I never understand. I don't get it.
I mean, I guess it happened because once I was single and I started going out, I always noticed the girls' feet. And then I guess as they allowed me to like massage their feet and play with them a little bit, I realized, okay, how much I like this. And next thing you know, like, there's a problem with today with society, like, because of the stupid phones. Like, back in the 90s, we could do whatever and
nobody knew.
Nothing recorded.
Nobody knew.
Now it's like, I mean, I have friends that have a portfolio of pictures.
Of you?
Yeah.
With feet?
Of a lot of stuff.
I think, you know what? I think live and let live. I mean, like, I personally
don't care. Because, I mean, when I'm in the moment, I'm in the moment. If someone takes a picture or whatever, it doesn't bother me.
No, but, like, people are judgy. I'm just like, who gives a shit? If the worst thing you're worried about is that Frank Diaz has a foot fetish, I was like, you have bigger problems in life.
I think I'm more worried that it's an ugly foot in my mouth. There's a foot in my mouth.
As a mom, I'm worried you're going to get, what is that called? Foot mouth disease.
No, there's no. There isn't.
Yeah, the little infants get it. You see a lot of them with the hand-foot disease. Whatever it's called. What is that called, Scott? You missed the whole segment of Frankie and his foot fetish, stuffing feet. So Frankie, on the side of my fridge for years, just for the audience real quick, sorry, I'm going to reiterate to Scott, there was a picture of Frankie looking demonic with a foot in his mouth from one of my birthdays. And then his friends would post
I thought I looked sexy, but apparently it was like creeper demonic.
My son would be like, why does Uncle Frankie have a foot in his mouth?
That's kind of scary.
I mean, yeah. So he has a foot fetish. So he kind of told us like what it's about. And we were like, people get judgy. And I'm like, who gives a shit? I don't care.
Touche, yeah.
Do you have a fetish, Scott?
Being a nice person.
Oh.
Being a nice person.
Are you kidding me right now?
I don't know. I don't have too many like weird kinks, I guess.
I don't think it's a kink.
Oh, now it's weird, huh? Now it's a kink.
Not weird. Maybe.
Not judging me, huh?
Oh, he has a big iPad. Don't worry.
Yeah.
What type of girls do you like? Like, do you have a preference of type? Like blonde, brunette?
No, you just got to be nice and cute.
Too nice though? Do you feel like you need a little bit of crazy?
Who doesn't?
I agree. I had this conversation this week, Scott, where I was like, okay, there are certain girls that are super nice and there's guys made for them. None of the guys that I've ever had in my life, like they'll be like, oh, you're a bit crazy. Okay, there's a good kind of crazy. It's like that Italian, I don't think so, put them in their place a little bit crazy and they need it.
Oh, definitely.
I don't think they could be in a relationship without that little bit of crazy. So I'm so sick of guys like, Chrissy's crazy. I just want a really calm girl. Bullshit, you do.
No,
bullshit.
I like it wild, man.
He does. That's what I love.
I like to go crazy.
What's wild mean?
Like,
all right, close my ears.
I'm just saying, like, go crazy. I don't mean like go wild and like some sex. ways. But
that's okay. I don't need to hear about that on
yeah.
You can come on with Kevin and you guys can talk. But what about like don't you think you need a little bit of like check? You wouldn't want a super nice girl.
Yeah, it would be boring.
Yeah.
You won't be able to do anything.
Like what?
Like, I don't know, just like go out, hang out. Like if they're just boring, no fun, then you're just gonna be bored with them.
I think you and I talked about this. Like, I think why you handle me good as a mom, just like I'm not the typical looking mom. I will say that.
But what is being nice related to being boring? Like, I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
And
I think society. Hold on, Frankie. You are a very nice guy.
Yes.
That I think you're Remember we talked about you have to read between the lines, you and I, because you were saying you got mad at the girl I sent you the meme. So we got to read between the lines. I think what we're saying is, Frankie, as a man, I know you. You're one of the kindest, sweetest people I know. You're also fucking crazy, and like that's good.
I'm saying you could be both. See,
That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I was saying. Like you can be nice, but like have a little crazy in you. Have fun. Like,
I love
be
that.
out there.
I love that about my
Be
son.
social or something.
He knows not to bring over like I've said to him, I'm probably gonna get so criticized, like, Nico, that's not your girl. Like, that's boring.
Yeah.
I've said to him, anyway, I won't say that on air because they are kids.
Yeah.
But I like that he says that because Nico knows that bring someone, when I say well-educated, I don't mean a college degree, that's someone that can have a conversation with your mother.
Yeah.
I've had girls come in, one of his best girlfriends, I love to death. She calls me the goat, so I love her even more. I don't know why she calls me the goat. You know what I'm talking about. Don't say her name. Yeah. But she's just a friend, but she's super smart. We can hang out, we talk, and I like that. But she's fun and wild and sense of humor, and I like that. And I like that my son thinks that way.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's about being depends on the scene, right? Like, I don't want someone to be
100%.
crazy when you're like trying to be chill.
No.
So, but I think that's the difference between crazy.
Okay, we're
When
not
you just
talking.
have like one level.
we're not
and it's, like,
talking-
no matter where you go.
No, when I want to be chill, I want her to be chill too,
Yeah.
or vice versa.
But I think
like,
people that vibe like that vibe the same.
yeah,
Correct.
Yeah,
Well, I'm not
exactly.
talking crazy like lunatic. I'm saying
Just more out there.
more out there. Yeah, a little bit on the edge.
But you know how people say, okay, be bold, don't be shy, but then they use that as an excuse to be rude, So
But that's just character and undeveloped, and you're always going to have those people. I mean, I don't use when I'm a bitch. I know I'm being a bitch.
Yeah.
I'm still a bold, very out there person. I'm also extremely sensitive and shy.
I know, it's just so shocking.
And I might come on here in a half shirt, but when I go to work, it's different. But I love my values. My parents gave me excellent values, and I know I pass them on to my son, and I hope he sets that expectation for himself and a partner.
Yeah.
Betrayal's dirty. Be loyal. It doesn't mean we all haven't screwed up. I mean, you're young. You know what I mean? Be trusting, but set boundaries. Be kind to people. The one thing I love about him and I pass this on to him, is how he takes care of the underdog.
Yeah.
And I say, treat everyone the same. Nobody, I don't care how much money you have, how poor you are. I don't give a shit. If we vibe and ride together, you're my friend. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's so, I think.
I mean, and you're truly like that because you and I have hung out in different, places.
Crowds.
Yeah, different crowds.
Yeah.
And like when we used to go boating, like I've never felt uncomfortable, and it's like big boats and people with money. I never thought about it like not fitting in. I felt like family. Every time I was hanging out with your mom, whether it was a house party, a boat party, Echo Stage, or whatever venue we were at, popping bottles or being at the bar, it was never like, I never felt out of place. Like, it just feels, that's why we're such good friends.
I actually thought about that the other day. It was probably one of the highest compliments. You gave me that compliment. Things stay with me. I don't make as big a deal. They stay with me. And you said that to me. You're like, you've never made me feel, you're always the same. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I love my people.
Yeah.
And I don't choose my people by social status or anything. I'm like, who knows who we all are in terms of that? Who gives a shit?
Well, the thing is that no matter how big something is, because she'll sometimes downplay it, like, oh, come to this party, right? And this and that. And you go and it's like yachts, like yachting, like boats everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like, You know, I'm like, oh, damn, like, it's like a crazy party. Like, you know, hot women, you know, there.
Yeah.
But it's just, for your mom, it's just a party.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what made it great. People DJing on the boat.
Yeah.
You know, stuff
We had
like that.
so much fun.
Yeah, it's just amazing.
And also, I think the things I vibe with, and I've been good about knowing the people that I vibe with, even if I don't know them well, I know the vibe. I don't want to be around people that treat people like shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to be around people that are like, oh, I'm prettier than you. I'm good, better looking. I'm bigger. I don't care.
Yeah.
That is not a fun day. A fun day is like, let's all have a good time together. Let's put on some good music because you know if the music sucks, I'm out. I don't care. You could have a mega yacht and if the music, if the music sucks, I'm out. And I like people to all get along. I like to make sure people are included. Nico's really good about that. You're good about talk, kid.
Oh yeah, like
You're really good about that.
yeah, I'm just social. Like I can hang out with whoever, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
But you're always protective of, I think I've seen you at least in settings where somebody's being treated poorly or, you know, there's somebody that's struggling a little more. And I feel like you always go out of your way, or if somebody is being naughty to those people or rude, you protect them.
Yeah, you gotta make sure everybody's all right, hanging out with each other, doing their thing,
Yeah.
whatever.
And and tell us, I do want to dab in, what's college life like? What's the party scene? Tell us, kid. Is it wild?
Honestly, from the two colleges I've been to,
Yeah.
I like JMU a lot. It's really fun.
I'm really proud of you for going to JMU, but I'm proud of you for going to Radford.
Yeah,
Both are excellent.
I think JMU is definitely a better school, and just like the people, the scenery, everyone's nice. Like, I mean, everybody's nice. I've not met one like rude person.
That's awesome.
So it's really cool. And at Radford, it was a little more like, I don't know. I don't want to. Like more trashy, more trashy. I feel like how people would react,
Like mean,
to others,
like kind of mean to it. You don't mean trashy people. You just mean they were kind of mean
just
to each
like
other.
being mean, like there's like
What,
no
judgy
respect.
or?
I would say judgy and mean, yeah, like put together.
Yeah.
yeah. So like
I think that's age too, right?
probably.
I think that could be age. You guys were all freshmen at college, and you know, because I think Radford is a great school, and Radford. You know, I read, of course, when you were going to go there at first, or you did go there, and I think it's a great school. So shout out to Radford, and I think it was good. They were you know me, Nick. I'm kind of like get the shit part of everything, so you understand how to deal with it. So
yeah, like the Radford like teachers were awesome. They were great. They were supportive. Like they would make you want to like go to class.
yeah,
but,
well,
like,
smaller school.
Yeah, smaller school.
I think that
everything gets done like
everything's a trade-off, right?
Yeah.
So JMU's bigger school. You know, I don't score things. I think you do as well as you want to. I don't care if you go to Nova. You do as well as you want to. If you suck, you suck. And if you get out in real life and you don't work hard, you're going to suck. It doesn't matter what degree you have.
Well, the community colleges that we have in the area are actually pretty good.
They're excellent.
Yeah.
Look, here's the thing. I never finished college, which upsets me. And I've always stayed disciplined. I've gone through hard times. I've done really well in my career. I've had to hustle, and I've watched kids come out of anywhere from Nova to, you know, I know people that have graduated Ivy League schools. All amazing.
Yeah.
You know, but what you do with it after is on you.
Yeah.
Work
ethic is what's important.
Yeah.
And
Like, I
discipline.
never liked school. My dad was like, if you want to go to college, I pay for it. And I told him straight up, I was like, Dad, I'm going to graduate high school. I don't mind working with the family business, but college is not for me. Like, I just don't like, I hate it. What I learned when I was in class.
Right.
Read this book, do homework, never. I
Yeah.
never did it. But when I was in class, I was always paying attention and learning, you know, what I could from there.
Yeah.
But I hated school. I just don't like school.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not
But then
everybody, there's
I
nothing.
work hard though, you know. I got my own business.
Look, it pisses me off, the narrative that is sold in this country or that goes on. And it is enforced in some level in different economies. It really does depend on the economy we're in to how much your degree matters. I've had this conversation with Nico, but like, you have to go to college to do XYZ. Like, I'm in sales and mortgage. Like, I'm going to do as well. You know, the market sucks right now, but like, either you can have a degree, you might suck at sales. I mean, it's all in what you put into it. So, so you're done school for the year.
Yeah.
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 When do you
So-
go back? I'm already, I
like
can't
in
no.
August. In August.
Like in August.
Like 20th.
Are you like you're 2 years from being out?
Yeah.
Can you believe it's almost done?
Yeah, it's close.
Are you scared? Are you scared?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm vibing.
You're doing a great
Yeah,
job.
so-
I'm super proud of you.
We keep going. Work hard, play hard.
That's what I tell him. Work hard, play harder.
Time flies. I remember like the times I would come over Thanksgiving and we would spend like nights. Your mom always talk about like, oh, I gotta take Nico to baseball here and there, I
Yeah.
gotta drive here and there.
Yep.
And it was like little Nico. Next thing you know, it's like
You're
It's like,
grown.
who's this man over here?
Yeah. Well, I know we have other podcasts being recorded today, but real quick, I wanted two things. We have a lot of podcasts on the Wylde Style Network. Go check it out. And please press the subscribe button, guys. It would mean a lot to me for a tribe called Jess, but our entire network as a whole. So again, Wylde Style Network, and press subscribe. And real quick, I always talk about Joey Zazig, who is... follow him on Insta, follow him on the TikToks. He always has something funny to say, and I'm going to leave you with something today, and then we'll do a sign off. Thank you guys for coming in. Go ahead.
Okay, this one is for my New Yorkers especially. Life is too short to be pale and have shitty sex, honey, so go get yourself some good dick and a spray tan.
Joey's amazing. I love his delivery every time. Go get yourself some good dick and a spray tan. Guys, take it with a sense of humor. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers and fathers out there, fur moms. Come back and tune in again next week. Thank you, Nico. Thank you, Frankie. Take care, guys. Later.